From the moment your wheels hit the curb, the money meter starts running. Hidden fees, overpriced traps, and systems built to confuse you. That's what modern air travel has quietly become. Even your lost luggage, it might not be lost. It might be for sale. But here's the thing. Once you see how the system works, you stop being the target and start playing smarter. In this video, we're exposing 10 airport mistakes travelers still make in 2025 and showing you how to flip them to your advantage. You ever notice your Uber ride from the airport always costs more than the one going in? Same distance, same app, but somehow the price jumps, and no one really tells you why. It's not random. Airports quietly tack on special pickup fees just for ride shares and taxis. You won't see a giant warning sign about it, but that little line on your receipt? Yeah, that's it. You're basically paying a premium just for being picked up near the terminal. For example, at Boston Logan International Airport, you'll pay an extra $3.25 for every Uber or Lyft pickup or drop-off. That adds over $6 round trip, and it's not even obvious until you check your receipt. At Hartsfield-Jackson, Atlanta, it's $3.85, just for stepping into the car at the curb. Most people don't question it, they just accept it as part of traveling. But you don't have to. You can outsmart this trick in 2 moves. First, adjust your pickup spot. If you walk just a block or 2 outside airport property, suddenly that mysterious fee disappears. It's the same car, just without the surcharge. And here's a bonus move. Some nearby hotels run free shuttle buses to and from the airport, no questions asked. Even if you're not staying there, a lot of them will still let you hop on. Once you're off airport grounds, then you order your Uber. No fee, less traffic, and you've already made it halfway out for free. It's not about being cheap. It's about not paying for things you don't have to. Ever been stuck in a sea of brake lights right outside the airport? You're crawling forward, second by second, wondering if you'll even make it to the terminal before your flight closes. What most people don't realize is that airport drop-off lanes aren't fixed rules, they're just suggestions. Just because your flight leaves from departures doesn't mean you have to get dropped off there. In fact, especially in the morning, the departures level is usually slammed with travelers racing to make their flights. Meanwhile, the arrivals level, often just 1 floor below, is nearly empty. Here's the move. If traffic's crawling upstairs, ask your driver to take you to arrivals instead. You get out, take the escalator up 1 level, and walk straight into the terminal. Same building, same entrance, way less stress. And it works both ways. If someone's picking you up and the arrivals curb is packed with honking cars and double parking, tell them to swing by departures instead. It's usually quieter, with more space to pull over. This tiny switch saves time, dodges traffic, and makes the airport feel a lot more manageable. It's one of those little insider moves most people never think to try. You get to the airport, reach into your bag, and your phone charger isn't there. That sinking feeling hits. You glance at the nearest shop, and a basic charging cable is suddenly selling for triple the normal price. What most travelers don't realize is, you might not need to buy anything at all. Many airport lost and found counters end up with all kinds of forgotten items. Chargers, adapters, earbuds, even portable batteries. These aren't thrown out. They're logged, stored, and often just sit there unclaimed. Some airports quietly allow travelers to borrow these items for short-term use, especially if you're still airside. It's not an official service, and there's usually no sign telling you it exists. But if you walk up and ask politely, you might be surprised. No forms, no fees, just a simple favor. Everyone knows airport food is expensive, but what most people don't realize is just how bad it's gotten. In some cases, a meal at the terminal can cost more than what you'd pay on the plane. And no, it's not because the food's better. It's because airport vendors are dealing with sky-high rent, strict background checks for every employee, and extra fees just to bring ingredients through security. That all gets passed on to you. Think $7 for a small bottle of water is outrageous? That's normal at many US airports now. A simple coffee might run you 20% more than the same chain outside. And don't even get started on fast food. Some travelers have reported paying close to $20 for a basic burger and fries. So how do you dodge this overpriced trap? First, bring your own food. TSA actually allows solid snacks like sandwiches, fruit, protein bars, just nothing liquidy. A little prep at home can save you from spending a small fortune while you wait at the gate. Second, consider eating on the plane. It sounds counterintuitive, but many airlines sell snacks and meals on board that are cheaper than what you'll find in the terminal. And if you've got the right credit card, it gets even better. JetBlue's Plus card knocks 50% off in-flight food and drinks. United's card gives you 25% off. It adds up, especially if you're flying with family. Most travelers walk past those quiet, glass-doored lounges assuming they're off-limits, reserved for first-class flyers or seasoned business travelers. No sign invites you in, and no one stops to explain who actually qualifies. But here's what most people don't check. You might already have access without even realizing it. If you hold a premium credit card like the Amex Platinum or Chase Sapphire Reserve, lounge entry is often included. No extra cost, no sign-up process. Just show the card and walk in. The same goes for many airline loyalty programs, especially on international flights. Platinum, Gold, or even lower tiers can sometimes open the door. Even without a fancy card or elite status, many lounges offer day passes between $30 and $50. When you compare that to grabbing coffee, a sandwich, and fighting for an outlet in the main terminal, it's a smart deal, especially on long layovers. Some travelers go even further and buy discounted lounge visits online from people who aren't using all their priority pass entries for the year. And once you're inside, it's a different travel experience altogether. Quiet seating, fast Wi-Fi, clean bathrooms, complimentary food and drinks. Some even have showers or nap rooms in international terminals. Airports don't go out of their way to advertise this, because when you're in the lounge, you're not out spending money at their overpriced cafes or souvenir stands. That's why the doors are discreet, the signs are vague, and the entrances often tucked away. So next time you pass by one of those unmarked corridors, don't assume it's out of reach. Check what your card or airline status really offers. You might already have access to a better way to wait. Most people think of airports as just functional spaces. You go in, wait around, board your flight, and that's it. But that's not how modern airports work anymore. Today's terminals are carefully designed money-making machines. Every sign, every chair, every walking path has a purpose. And it's not just about helping you find your gate. Let's start with the seating. Ever notice how the most comfortable spots, the padded chairs, the lounge-style couches, are always right in front of shops and cafes? That's not a coincidence. The longer you sit there, the more you're exposed to flashy ads, food smells, and shiny things you didn't plan to buy. That's called revenue seating. And it works. Then there's the placement of essential services. Need to charge your phone? Use the restroom? Fill up your water bottle? You'll have to walk past a dozen food stalls, vending machines, and gift shops to get there. That's intentional. They want you to get distracted along the way and grab something, anything, before you make it to what you actually need. And here's one of the sneakiest tricks: delayed gate announcements. Especially in European airports, they often hold off on telling you your departure gate until the last hour or so. Why? Because if you knew your gate early, you'd head there and sit. But if you don't know yet, you stay in the central shopping area, right where they want you. Some airports even show those reassuring little signs like 7-minute walk to gate 18, so you feel like you've got time. That way, you keep browsing, keep buying, and don't rush out of the retail zone too soon. Once you notice these patterns, you can't unsee them. But being aware means you can stop falling for them. Here's something airports rarely advertise because, well, it doesn't make them any money. Most major airports offer a surprising number of free perks, but unless you go looking, you'd probably never know they exist. Why? Because the longer you hang out in shops and restaurants, the more you're likely to spend. If you're off doing yoga, watching a free movie, or sipping water you didn't buy, they're not earning a dime. Take San Francisco, Chicago O'Hare, and Dallas Fort Worth. They have full-on yoga rooms, free, quiet, clean, and perfect if you've been sitting for hours or dealing with flight delays. Portland Airport? They've got a mini movie theater you can just walk into and catch a film while waiting for your gate. Other airports host rotating art exhibits or mini museums right in the terminals. Places like Miami and San Francisco, where you can enjoy world-class collections without buying a ticket or standing in line. Need a moment of peace? Most international airports offer prayer rooms or quiet spaces where you can rest, meditate, or just breathe for a bit. No charge, no questions. Singapore's Changi Airport even has free massage chairs scattered throughout. And if you're just thirsty, many terminals now offer refill stations for your water bottle. Just don't expect to see a glowing sign pointing to them. They're often tucked away behind restaurants or at the far ends of corridors. Traveling with kids? Some airports have free play areas with slides, toys, and soft floors. A total lifesaver if you're trying to keep little ones entertained before boarding. Want to plan ahead? Check out a site called sleepinginairports.net. It breaks down everything, from free lounges and showers to where you can safely nap overnight. It's the kind of resource that makes airport time feel a little less stressful and a whole lot cheaper. Most of us think flight delays come down to two things: bad weather or some kind of mechanical issue. But that's only part of the story. The real reason behind a lot of delays? Something called airport slots. Slots are time windows. They're what allow a specific plane to take off or land at a certain airport during a specific time. And at busy hubs like Heathrow, JFK, or LAX, those slots are gold. There's only so much space in the sky, and only so many planes an airport can handle in an hour. So airlines have to compete for these slots. And the more valuable they are, the more likely that airline is to stay on schedule, even when things go sideways. Big carriers, like British Airways at Heathrow, own a lot of prime slots. That means they get priority when the airport gets backed up. Their planes land and take off sooner. Smaller airlines or low-cost carriers with less desirable slots, they wait. Sometimes a long time. And here's the kicker: when weather messes up the flow or a runway gets backed up, it's the airlines with weak slots that get bumped further and further down the line. So, how do you avoid getting stuck in the delay spiral? Simple. Know the home turf. If you're flying out of a major airport, try to book with the airline that dominates that terminal. They've likely got better slot access, and your odds of taking off or landing on time just went up. Most airport workers are honest, and most TSA agents are just doing their jobs. But every now and then, someone takes advantage of the system, and travelers end up paying the price. Theft at the airport isn't a myth. It happens, and when it does, it's often in places you wouldn't expect, like the security line. While you're busy taking off your shoes or digging through your bag for that stray travel-size shampoo, your carry-on is already rolling away on the belt, out of your reach for a few seconds. That's all it takes for someone nearby, or behind the scenes, to grab something small and valuable. Then there's checked luggage. Once your bag disappears behind the counter, it goes through a maze of hands, handlers, sorters, loaders. And if your suitcase is packed with electronics, jewelry, or high-end gear, it becomes a tempting target. There have been real cases. In Miami, TSA agents were caught on camera stealing money from passengers' bags, with one incident involving $600 taken from a wallet at a security checkpoint. At another airport, baggage staff were caught opening suitcases and stealing high-end watches, cash, and even cologne. So how do you protect yourself? Start with the basics. Never check anything you can't afford to lose. Keep your laptop, your camera, your phone, your documents, and your medication in your carry-on. And when you're going through security, don't get distracted. Watch your bag as it moves through the X-ray. You don't need to stand over it like a hawk, but keep it in view until it's back in your hands. If you have to check a bag, lock it. A TSA-approved lock isn't unbreakable, but it adds just enough of a barrier to make someone think twice. And maybe skip packing 5 different devices for one trip. The fewer high-value items you bring, the fewer things you have to worry about. Most importantly, if something does go missing, speak up immediately. Go to the airline counter, the airport security desk, or lost and found within 24 hours. The sooner you report it, the better chance you have of recovering it, or at least getting someone to take responsibility. Most people assume that if their bag goes missing or something gets taken at security, it'll either be returned or quietly disposed of. But what actually happens? Your stuff might be for sale, right now. Let's start with the TSA. When they confiscate something at security, they don't keep it in a dusty bin forever. After about 30 days, those items, pocket knives, lighters, small electronics, even unopened bottles of wine, get boxed up and listed for auction. Real auction, on a government website. Anyone can buy them. Now for checked luggage. If your bag gets lost and no one claims it after a few weeks, airlines don't hold it in some mystery warehouse. They sell the whole thing, as is. There's actually a giant store in Scottsboro, Alabama called the Unclaimed Baggage Center. They buy entire truckloads of abandoned luggage from airlines. Then they open it, clean what's inside, sort it out, and resell everything. Designer clothes, electronics, jewelry, sometimes even wedding rings. You can walk in and shop there, or scroll through their online store and possibly spot someone's forgotten laptop or GoPro. It's wild. So, after everything we've just uncovered, one thing's crystal clear. Airports and airlines have designed the entire travel experience to control your movement and maximize their profits. From how long you wait, to where you sit, to when you find out your gate, it's all part of the plan. But once you start noticing how the system works, you stop playing into it. You stop paying double for water. You stop getting tricked into delays. And most importantly, you take back control of your time, your money, and your peace of mind when flying. If you've ever fallen into one of these airport traps or found a clever way around them, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And if this video saved you even $1 or one headache, hit that like button and share it with someone who travels. Because smart travelers, we look out for each other.